So I think most people, when they think of nutritionists or dietitians, they think of the physical aspect of health, like what can I eat, what can I drink, how can I optimize my hormones and metabolism, and how can I increase energy. I noticed that you had a lot of posts that were mindset based, that were mental based. And I think one of the unique ways that we view health here at Freedomology is like mental health is the foundation.
Absolutely.
I think that that is just where everything starts. I think if we talk to people, if you and I, and you've probably talked to, hundreds and hundreds or, even thousands, like people think I want to get healthier. They think I want to look better. I want to lose weight. But really, it starts with feeling better. It starts with, how do you wake up in the morning? Like, are you attacking the day instead of letting the day attack you? Are you trying to crawl under the covers and not really, know what's going on? Or do you have some purpose? Do you have some focus for the day and a rhythm for living? Mm-hmm. So we talk about mental health as a foundation. Physical health is sort of that outward expression of health. And then environmental health sits right in between. And we help people optimize their environments. And I just saw some snippets of all of those things that we teach in what you're teaching, what you're talking to people about. So let's talk from a broad perspective. We're going to get into some very specifics, but like from a broad perspective, when it comes to health, how do you approach health? When you meet a client for the first time, walk me through sort of how you get to know where they're really at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we work with clients one-on-one at a really deep level. So we literally assess everything that's going on with them. And one of the biggest key factors that I love to get into with people is like, where's their headspace at? I want to know like what kind of diets they've done in the past. What have they failed at? What have they excelled at? What kind of doctors have they seen? What kind of issues have they had? Because everything begins and ends with the mind. And that's what, health is not checking off boxes. Health is so much more to that. So the things that we do in our coaching program, yes, we're guiding people into macromanagement, just learning more about the foundations of nutrition to understand what macros are.
Well, hey, welcome back to another coaching call, another week of H40. This is week 4. We're week 4. We're done with Move. This past week, we've been focusing on biohacking, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. If we haven't met yet, I'm Tony, team lead here at Freedomology.
I'm Greg.
And let's just start with this, I think, because biohacking is it's kind of a niche little community online. Not everybody's into biohacking. Not everybody maybe has heard of biohacking or knows what it is. I think you are the one who introduced me to at least how deep the rabbit hole is. But in a nutshell, if biohacking is new for you, it's really about paying attention to and appreciating and optimizing what's going on in our bodies at the micro level, like at the cellular level, more than just like, do I have muscles? Does my body look okay? Am I overweight? There are so many processes that are going on in our body 24/7, day after day, night after night, that we are blind to or unaware of. They're all going on underneath the surface. Trillions and trillions of cells in our body that are being born and dying, and over again, our whole body, what gets replaced every 7 years, I guess, with new cells. And all of these functions, they can either be performed better or worse. Like you can aid your body in that, or you can actively kind of work against your body in that. I think maybe the most incredible thing about it is the way that our bodies naturally want to heal themselves. I don't know if you've ever marveled at that, but I have. Like I was just doing some flooring at my house over the weekend, busted my butt, and got a ton of blisters on my hands. And I've been watching over the last few days as my body has just begun restoring my skin to its prior condition. It's without me doing anything consciously. The default state of the body is towards repair, towards healing, towards life, which I think that's incredible. And that's really what we're trying to do with biohacking, is allow the body to do what it's trying to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Biohacking is an entire industry, right? It is a big industry. It's not really even a niche industry anymore. It is a niche in the health community, but I think like it is a massive industry, and it is supplements, it is lab tests, it is, functional health, sort of a derivative of functional health, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I think the way that I look at biohacking is like Tony and I look differently right now to you on camera, right? He's a little bit younger, or a lot younger actually.
Got something up here.
He's better looking. He's got more here. But our bodies are as different on the inside as they are on the outside. And so when we think health and we talk to even our doctor, even relatives or friends, and they're like, hey, I started to take this supplement and boom, I couldn't sleep. I started to take magnesium. Like, yes, there are some universal supplements, like magnesium would be one of them, that probably most of us should be taking in the evening for sleep. But there's many things that get tossed around, ideas that get tossed around that again, that I might not be deficient in. So I think the first step for me, biohacking is supplements. It is, I mean, we talked about carb fasting a few weeks ago. Who wants to lose fat? Who wants to, most people think they want to lose weight. Really, you want to lose fat.
Yeah.
Well, you have to turn on the body's fat switch. You have to tell the body that it's time to burn fat for energy. That's really the only way to lose fat. And so that's a form of biohacking, right?
Yeah.
If we had two cars and so my dad used to work on cars in the driveway, right, in the garage. And he's not a mechanic, but he is a mechanic. He's very handy, and he could basically fix anything in that '64 Camaro or the '78 Cutlass or whatever. He could just open up the hood and he could sort of turn the engine on. He could tell what was wrong with it. Well, cars have matured over the last 20, 30, 40 years. So now what happens when you take your car into the dealer is they plug it in. Right? Yeah. They actually plug the computer in. The computer tells them what is wrong with the car. They don't just guess anymore. Okay. So, our bodies are much more complex than cars.
Yeah.
Even today, than the computers in our body. So there's really no way to biohack 100% effectively unless we get measured. So I think the first thing I want to talk about and maybe go over, I want to actually show my screen. Galen, if you could pop this screen up, let me know when that's live. So we're good. Okay. So you can go to the doctor and ask them for a physical, and they're probably going to do what they normally do. They may pull blood. They may check, your hemoglobin and sort of your sugar and the basic things. What we've provided in H40 in the Sprint is this basically full blood panel. You want to go as a customer, right? Because your doctor is providing a service. It's not just this relationship where you have to do everything
he's the authority
to do. Yeah, exactly. You need to sort of take ownership of your own health here.
Yeah.
So this is a very inexpensive way to start biohacking, is basically get a complete blood panel pulled.
Ask for that. Yep.
Yeah. Right. Ask for the metabolic panel, so CMP. Ask for lipid profile. Ask for a thyroid function test, your vitamin levels, and your C-reactive protein, all your inflammation markers. So we've laid it out here, the 6 things. You could print this out and you could basically say, hey, I'm participating in this health sprint.
I need this data.
I'm part of this health community, this community of people who are committed to getting healthier physically and mentally and environmentally. And this is what they're telling me I should be measuring, right? And that's one way to do it. Very inexpensive. And hopefully you get back a lot of detailed information, like data about your body. And hopefully your doctor can help you differentiate or analyze the data. But it's pretty obvious typically, okay? Another way to do this, a sort of more advanced way, is there's these clinics. We talk about 10X Health.
Yep.
So Gary Brecka and his clinic, 10X Health. We talk about Tony Robbins and Life Force. And we have the domain names here at 10X Health Network or lifeforce.com. I've done both of these. Dr. Mark Hyman has a company called Function Health. So Dr. Hyman was at the clinic, so the Cleveland Clinic, one of the most well-respected hospitals in the world. He set up what I think is the world's first functional health department at a major hospital. So functional health is just looking at health differently. It's not diagnosing what's wrong with you and prescribing a Band-Aid. It's going much deeper. And if you have high blood pressure, instead of just prescribing a medication, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you have high blood pressure?
Find the root cause.
Yeah, it goes down the rabbit hole essentially, and your doctor should right, a functional health doctor should be doing this with you. But it's sort of a modern take on medicine. So we're trying, me and my family are trying to transition all of our physicians over to functional health doctors at the
Bit
clinic.
harder to find, right?
Oh, well, it's so absolutely. The clinic is all over the U.S. And they have a great functional health department in Cleveland. So I will say it was easy to find, hard to get an appointment.
Hard to get in, yeah.
Yeah, it took me a few months to get in, but the questions that the functional health doctor will ask you are just different questions about your health. It's more of combining, right, the art and the science. It's not just prescribing a medication. It's like really getting down to analyzing your body so you can hack its way to health. And what you said at the beginning, like the body wants to heal itself, like the liver. If you've been drinking too much alcohol for decades, your liver might not be in good shape. And you might pull these blood panels and you might realize it. It might be glaringly obvious that you need to reduce the alcohol, right? So if you start to do that, the liver can start to repair and regenerate itself in a few months. It can actually get back to normal. Yeah, so our organs really want to heal themselves. And so it's actually just letting the body do what it's designed to do, which is heal itself.
Get out of the way.
And so for example, fasting. I look at fasting as a form of biohacking. So when you fast, let's say you do a water fast for 3 days, okay? Autophagy, like why would you do that? Well, you would do that because you want to sort of turn off that anabolic switch in the body. AMPK, you're deactivating the mTOR pathway. Like you're basically telling the body to heal itself in an accelerated fashion by not eating food.
Yep.
You're forcing autophagy to set in, and so the cells in our bodies that are the weakest, these turn into cancer. These turn into, illnesses, and these turn into things that if we give the body a chance, the body will just expel them.
Clean it up.
A lot quicker, clean it up, and then replenish with healthy cells. So, I mean, just to me, that's biohacking. Now, that might not be looked at traditionally by biohackers, but that's hacking my body, getting healthier by actions.
Well, you're taking specific actions that almost trigger these under the hood processes that we're normally not aware of, right? Like autophagy. I don't know how often most of us have thought about autophagy in our lives, but it's a thing that the body knows how to do naturally when certain conditions are met. Like you fast for a certain extended period of time and the body goes into this mode where it's like, okay, time to clean up, time to get rid of all the dead. And
if we're doing intermittent fasting, there's science that says like that's mini autophagy. Like the body it's always in a process of killing diseased cells and old cells and weak cells and replacing them. But this just accelerates that. Right? It's just like a shortcut, a hack. So I pulled up on my screen, so Function Health. So this is Dr. Mark Hyman's company. And so you pay an annual fee. I think this is $500 a year. So this is $499 a year. I'm definitely not recommending you go out to three different labs and get your blood pulled. I do it because of sort of our position. We have to be able to talk about it. But Function Health, so recently, right?
Full screen that for a
months
second.
Ago. Yeah, let's see.
Window. Top left.
Up here?
Yep. There we go. That should help.
Okay. So this is basically the dashboard. Okay. And so I had a bunch of blood drawn. So you pay a fee and then they schedule you with the clinic. So they email you a form. And then you take that form to a Quest so diagnostics, a lab or whatever. And there's these labs all over the country where a nurse will just take your blood, send your blood into this headquarters, and then they analyze it. And then, within a few weeks, they're telling me that biologically I'm 40 years old.
You're doing great, man.
Yeah. So I'm actually 50 chronologically, but biologically. So they're measuring all of my biomarkers essentially.
I think you've gotten younger since I last saw that dashboard.
I don't know.
You might be aging in reverse, man.
Yeah. Well, so honestly, if you haven't, that's one of the beautiful things about health. If you haven't been taking care of yourself enough, you could actually age. You could slow down the process so dramatically within a few months that you could actually age in reverse.
Yeah.
So biologically,
genuinely
from a biological perspective,
increasing your lifespan.
But this is interesting because like they measured 196 biomarkers. So more.
It's a lot more.
More than the test here that your doctor, even if you get this full blood panel done with all these tests, it's not going to be that much, right? So I wanted to go even deeper for my health. I mean, this talks about foods that I should, my top 5 foods that I should eat to optimize even my things that weren't quite optimized. And it talks about the foods to avoid. I'm going to go back here. It recommends supplements. Okay. So where is this at? Supplements. I thought I just clicked supplements.
Right under foods.
Oh yeah, right there. Yep. Okay, so it's recommending, omega-3 fatty acids, berberine, red yeast rice, CoQ10, and multivitamin. And so ask me now, when this was done a few months ago, how many supplements?
Yeah.
Am I taking these? Yes, I'm taking these.
You're taking them.
Right, I'm taking their advice. I was taking berberine ahead of time. I've been so off and on with omega-3 fatty acids, but I don't eat enough seafood. I like red meat and chicken and pork. I don't eat enough fish. I should eat more fish, especially. But if you're not eating enough fish and seafood, then omega-3 fatty acids is probably a supplement you might need to be taking.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into supplements in a second, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. But I mean, it looks at basically everything, so male health, testosterone, and like stress and aging. And so all these green things
Really detailed.
are potentially right in line. And then my heart, like if the Clement family hereditary perspective, if we have issues, it's probably our hearts.
Really?
So that's probably the thing that I'm most focused on is optimizing my heart. Now, cholesterol is one of these things, HDL's right high, there's good and bad cholesterol. They used to say cholesterol over 300 was in danger, and now I think it's over 200. So there's some science, some recent studies done where cholesterol is actually not like you shouldn't be that concerned about cholesterol between 200 to 300. Now, if your cholesterol is way past that, then you should be concerned about that. But again, when's the last time you had your cholesterol pulled? Not just cholesterol, but your triglycerides and lipoprotein, HDL large, and total cholesterol, non-HDL cholesterol. Like this looks at cholesterol much deeper than a typical blood test would, right? So again, I'm concerned about my heart, so I'm going to take supplements that help my heart. I'm going to eat more foods that help my heart because I don't want, like next time I take this test, I think in November, so I want to come back and I want to have more of these biomarkers in range.
Yeah. For sure.
Right, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But yeah, it is nice to see from a biological perspective. I'm probably the past couple years as I've gotten more committed to my health, I'm sort of aging
Improving.
in reverse. So,
That's awesome.
So chronologically, I'm getting older. We can't stop that. But this is interesting for sure.
I don't remember if you mentioned. Did you mention how much Function Health costs?
Yeah, $4.99.
$4.99. Okay.
I think it's $500 a year. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You get 2 tests. So you get 2 tests a year every 6 months.
That's awesome.
I think the Tony Robbins thing is $195, and then you pay $150 a month. So
Monthly.
each one of these, check these out independently, right, of us. And I think the Gary Brecka, the 10X Health, is like $600 a year too.
We're not affiliates with any of them.
Yeah,
These are just
no.
different tools that we've used. So yeah, check them out, see what works for you. But if you're serious or wanting to get serious about understanding your body and what's going on under the surface, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it. So we mentioned a minute ago that there are certain things you can do like fasting, autophagy.
Galen, you can take the screen off right now.
Oh yeah, thanks dude. Certain activities you can do that will trigger responses in your body, like fasting triggers autophagy. And there are a couple others here that I know you do, some of these personally, like sauna, for example. You do that. Do you do that every
sauna,
day?
I do it almost every day. So every day I go to the gym. We just bought an infrared, full spectrum infrared sauna that we're installing at our house, but
Nice.
we have a regular sauna at the gym. And the sauna use, like I used to think, again, when I was interested in health, that the sauna was just an accelerant of sweat and it just sort of helped you lose some weight. But that's not at all what a sauna does. Right?
No, it's not just a relaxation technique.
No, it's great. It's great for that too, for sure. But the sauna will release heat shock protein. So that heat stress, right? You put the body under heat stress and it automatically releases heat shock proteins, which will clean things up faster. Just great for the body. They're saying that all-cause mortality is highly reduced, and stroke and heart disease can be, if you spend, I think it's 60 minutes of sauna time a week,
That's it.
Okay. So 15 minutes a day, 4 days a week, your chance of stroke and heart disease is cut in half.
That's wild.
Okay. And I'm not sure exactly what age group they're measuring, if they're measuring all ages, but I think from a biohacking perspective, sauna use is great. And when you add in full spectrum, when you add in infrared, right, because you have steam sauna, like, I call it wet sauna.
Yep.
That's the one we have at the gym, but full spectrum infrared is okay. In addition to the sauna, it's hitting your skin and your muscles with, infrared rays, which is beneficial and great for the skin appearance, the way you look and feel. I think the sauna is a great way to biohack.
How long are you doing sauna every morning? Is it 15 minutes?
No, I do 12 to 15 minutes a time.
Okay.
Yeah. The sauna we have at the gym, it goes up to 200 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, that's hot.
I was going to say 15 minutes at 200. That's like oven hot.
That's hot. Yeah. And so we're about 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
I think a sauna, it's interesting. So when you use a sauna, don't get beat up so bad where when you step out, you can bear, like, it's like, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? You got hit by a train. Like that's too much.
Yeah.
That's spending too much time. So for some people, you might have to get used to a sauna. You might have to be 5 minutes, on day one. And then at the end of the week, you increase it to 8 minutes and then 10 minutes. So a sauna, you should be leaving a sauna not completely rejuvenated, because typically, so I do the sauna after a workout, at the end of a workout, I go home and then I do the cold shower.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up next. Okay.
I should actually do cold shower before my workout because of vasoconstriction opens up the blood vessels, but I haven't made that hack yet. But essentially, a sauna should make you feel pretty good. Right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't like wear you down. If it's doing that, it's too long.
It's too much. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned heat shock proteins in the sauna. You just mentioned cold showers, which I know can release cold shock proteins.
Cold shock proteins.
So tell us about those. What are those doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So cold shock proteins, great for endorphins and great for brain chemicals. So they say that and if you do the cold immersion, there's cold showers, which I do. I've also done cold immersion where we have a tub,
like an ice bath,
and it's actually 35 degrees. But there's good science, because if you jump into a cold tub, right in the 30s, so 35 to 38 degrees, it's shocking.
That's cold.
It's shocking. I mean, I've done it often, and it's shocking, and it's hard, and I think it's good for willpower, because you feel like if you spend 2 to 3 minutes in that environment, it's great for mental strength.
Sheer discipline.
It really is.
Force of will.
Yeah, because you just did something that is almost painful.
Yeah.
Right. And you stepped into the pain. You leaned into it instead of
everything in your body is screaming, get me out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's mentally strong.
Yeah.
Physically, it's really good for you also with the cold shock the proteins. And it actually is like the norepinephrine, right? All the brain chemicals that just make you feel great for the next 2, 3, 4 hours, like cloud nine. So the delayed gratification of a cold shower or cold tub is amazing. There's been studies done that basically say, okay, the difference between 38 degrees and 50 degrees are not, from a biological perspective, not that great.
Like you're not going to get more benefits from a colder plunge.
Yeah, correct. And so if you can, in the difference, I'm telling you, the difference between 38 degrees and 48 degrees is like shocking to just not feel good.
Yeah. Uncomfortable but tolerable.
Yeah. So cold showers. Our shower gets really cold at our house, and so I do cold showers for 3 minutes at the end. Like, I get home from the gym, I hop in the shower, I soap up, and then at the end of my shower, it's a routine, and I don't like turn it slowly. It's literally I rinse off,
cold
and then
time.
Boom.
Really,
right? It's cold, and I stay in there for 3 minutes. And one of the things that cold water, cold immersion therapy, anything cold, so it activates brown fat. So we have a few different types of fat, 2 primarily, like white fat, traditional fat, which is the majority of the fat on our body. And then we have brown fat, which is heat activated fat. And the only way to get rid of brown fat, so brown fat is not used for energy. It's not used to move you from point A to point B, or to lift a weight or throughout the day. Brown fat is really only activated to warm your body back up.
Right.
So when you do cold immersion or cold showers, you should be lowering your body temperature a little bit. And what's happening is it's burning brown fat to get the body temperature back up.
Yep.
So that's the amazing thing, is that brown fat stores here in the face, in the neck, the back of the neck, the shoulders, like all the places that you don't want fat. Like what human being, if they're concerned about appearance at all, wants to have a fat neck, fat chin, fat, you know what I'm saying? And brown fat. That's why when I make sure in the shower, I'm hitting my face for at least a minute. Like
with the cold water.
I'm activating all the brown fat like in the spots that I really don't want fat. So that's a hack. That's a biohack.
Yeah, that's incredible. Again, that's you taking an action that triggers this response that's sort of baked into the body. The body knows how to do it when certain conditions are met. So
correct.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Okay, let's pivot a little bit then to supplements, because you mentioned them earlier that Function Health had recommended some for you and you've been taking them regularly. So maybe we could hear about some of your favorite supplements or what you're taking, or where should people get started? Because I feel like there are
absolutely
so many supplements, and there's a lot of brands out there claiming that their supplements will cure cancer and, you know, all these miracle claims.
Turkey tail mushroom, great. I mean, my father-in-law, it's not on here, but my father-in-law has cancer, and my wife Kelly is you know, taking a holistic approach along with chemo. He's doing incredible. You know, he's had 8 rounds of chemo, and he's taking soursop tea and turkey tail mushroom every day. And you know, you have some Asian beliefs that these will actually help kill cancer.
Yeah, right.
He's doing it, and all of his tumors are shrinking dramatically. Yet he feels good.
Great.
I think that's the key is chemo. If anybody's gone through that, or a loved one, like it can drain you. It can deplete you. It can make you feel worse than
it almost kills you. Like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Brutal.
He feels great. So obviously those aren't on here, but just he whether he knows it or not, he's biohacking.
Yeah.
Right. I think from a supplement perspective, so we put this list together. This is probably, from a biohacking perspective, some of the top supplements that you're going to hear about in the industry. But also what's not on here is protein and creatine.
Yeah.
So creatine, if you're looking to, so let me talk briefly about those. Most people know or want to build more muscle, yet almost everyone I talk to that we give advice to that are consistent, you know, strength training, they're not getting enough protein. Like they're like, so you can go to the gym, you can work out hardcore and not have gains. Yeah. Right. They're not seeing it after 3, 4, 5, 6 months. You're probably not getting enough protein. So 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So 200-pound adult male should be ingesting at least 200 grams of protein a day, and maybe even a little bit more. Okay. Now, if you're looking to maintain 0.75 grams protein per pound, so that would be about 150 grams. So if you're a 120-pound woman, you should be getting 120 to 130 grams of protein a day in your food.
Yep.
And sometimes it's hard to do that because the protein and fats make you feel full. And so you might have to supplement with the protein shake. Right? I mean, that's just a supplement. I do it every morning when I wake up. It's a protein shake, and it just helps me supplement that. So that gap.
It's quite a bit of protein that you need to get, you know, and most people just aren't getting enough.
They're not getting it. And you want to make sure that your protein's not full of fillers, and it's as organic as it can be. You know, animal proteins are for the most part have all the amino acids, right? So there's 20 amino acids, 9 are essential, 11 are unessential, non-essential they call them. You know, in like a whey protein will have all of those strands of protein in there.
Yep.
And so I think the protein's a huge one. I think creatine is a supplement that bodybuilders have used for decades. It's probably the most studied and researched supplement in the history of the world, besides protein potentially. And I think creatine is one thing. Again, if you're looking to build muscle, it's good for the brain, good for muscle, good for just some biological processes in the body. 5 grams a day. You know, if you're taking creatine, they say you can stack it in take a lot more for the first week.
Like a loading phase.
Yeah.
You take 20.
I don't do that. I've never done that essentially. It's just 5 grams a day, because over a few weeks you'll satate the cells to the point where you'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these supplements, so protein or creatine, do you take these?
I take both. Yep.
Yeah. For how long?
Oh man.
A while?
At least 10 years.
Yeah.
A while. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So NMN, so nicotinamide mononucleotide. This is like an anti-aging supplement. So a niche within a niche in the the biohacking industry is anti-aging. So this is a big niche that's growing very quickly as we get older. Okay, the aging of the population, but anti-aging is stopping or even reversing aging. So NMN and resveratrol are two supplements that people who are committed to stopping the aging process in the body, which in essence can be boiled down to lean muscle mass is an indicator for sure, but it's so mitochondrial health. So it's like if you've ever seen a kid, an 8-year-old, you have young kids, they go hardcore for a long time. And then when they crash, they crash.
They crash.
Right? They take 1 or 2 naps a day, but they're going hard. Like when they're up, they don't want to be sitting in a church pew, right? At church for an hour. They want to be running around. Like the mitochondrial health of their cells is amazing, right? They're just packed with energy. And that's what we want to have. So aging, like the little hairs on the mitochondria like shrink and get destroyed and just reduce. So this helps actually grow those and actually improve the health of the mitochondria.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I love both of those for sure.
I should start taking that.
Yeah, I think so for sure. So vitamin B12 in methylcobalamin form. So make sure it's methylcobalamin. That's just good for brain health and just metabolism and function and detoxification. So I don't in the module itself, I went through each one of these supplements. I'm going to touch on what I'm taking and what I think is very essential. Omega-3 fatty acids. Absolutely, for sure, 100%. I take that along with CoQ10 for cardiovascular health. So for reducing inflammation. We just did a short video on curcumin and turmeric, which is great if you're feeling like achy in your joints. Like if you wake up in the morning, your back hurts or your joints hurt or your elbows hurt from working out or whatever, your knees, try those two. Try curcumin and turmeric. It reduces inflammation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Good to know.
So I've experimented with ashwagandha, with probiotics. So vitamin D and K2 are great. So D3 and K2 I take together. You should take them together also.
Okay.
And magnesium's a good one for sleep. So magnesium is just a relaxer of the muscles. Yeah. And it just puts the body in a good sort of state to relax. And I think a lot of us, our minds, our bodies, we're going 100 miles an hour until we go to bed. And then we lay in bed and we wonder why we can't fall asleep. Yeah. Well, you need that, so we didn't do the module yet. We're going to talk a lot more about this in rest in 2 weeks. But you need to have an evening routine. The alarm clock that you should be setting is the one that tells you when to go to bed, not
when to wake up. Yeah.
Not the one that tells you when to wake up. Yeah. So I think those are key supplements for sure.
That's great. Okay. Well, let me throw you kind of a loaded question, but Greg, where should people get their supplements from?
Yeah, so we just launched this week the Freedomology store. So freedomology.store. A lot of probably the number one question we've been getting into our email inbox is like, hey, you recommend berberine. Well,
which one?
What kind okay, how do I find it? So we've recognized the need a few months ago that we need to set up a store. So we launched this store this week, and we're officially going to launch it next month or early October. But we wanted to get it to you guys,
kind of soft launching it to you guys.
Yeah, in the Freedomology community now. But we have a list, and I think we have a dozen supplements.
There's about 12 handpicked, kind of curated supplements that you would have heard us talk about in these modules, and then we've also vetted the brand for quality. So
yeah, absolutely. Galen, are you able to show my screen? Are you showing it now? Okay, good. So 10 to 30% off retail price when you hit this site. So freedomology.store, super easy to remember. When you hit this price, you guys are going to get a discount. So the way we're looking at this in the community going forward is what we want to do is offer supplements at a discount, almost like wholesale prices, because supplements can get very expensive very quickly, especially if you're taking 2, 3, 4, or 5 of them, a day. You're buying bottles, 3, 4, 5 bottles a month.
Yeah.
I do recommend too that if you're starting a supplement, if you're taking nothing right now and you want to start a supplement, start with 1, max 2 at a time. for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Don't start with 6 supplements, because what you'll realize could happen is your head could start to get woozy, brain fog, your stomach could, be impacted. And you're like, which supplement is it?
Which one's doing that?
Which one is unagreeable with my body?
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is, the elimination diet, the supplement elimination diet.
Yeah.
So I would just recommend 1 to 2 at a time. Let your body get used to that supplement. But the cool thing about this is we have all these supplements in here, and let's look at like COQ10. So $38.99 for this bottle. Okay. But when you add it to your cart, you'll see that we're giving you a discount of anywhere from 10 to 30%, depending on the supplement. So you are getting a discount.
Yep.
Keep in mind that this is coming from one or two centralized warehouses or distribution plants. So you're going to pay a shipping fee of $13, a flat rate shipping fee. So it would be smart to maybe, if you're going to take like COQ10, buy 2 bottles of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because that shipping fee is fixed.
It's fixed no matter how much you buy.
Yeah, exactly. And so you guys, we'll get a discount. We're super excited to launch this. Have we told these guys about the community? We told these guys about the community.
No, it's been a bit of a secret.
Why don't you tell them? Why don't you give them another secret?
Okay, all right.
Right now,
I'll
real
spill
quick.
it for you guys.
Yep.
So I'm very excited about this. We both are,
we all
because we're all very excited. But essentially, for the next sprint, and not just H40 like health sprints, but also our future F40, our finance sprint, and R40, our 40 days to better relationships. Those are all going to take place in what will be our own app and ecosystem. So we've been using a kind of a combination of Facebook groups and school, and some people just following through emails and YouTube. We're going to have one centralized Freedomology app where you can find every challenge, every sprint, every resource, every video will be going live there in the app. Instead of going live on Zoom or YouTube or whatever, it'll all be there right in the app. You'll be able to find other members who are nearby, that have similar interests to you. So hopefully you can start to make genuine connections with other people who are on the same journey. So we're aiming for a September launch in the App Store.
Probably October.
Well, of the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think of the app.
Okay.
Probably October, because
right.
we're going to officially launch it. It will be done in September.
Yeah.
Because
better be.
like the mobile app development's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of technology behind what we're releasing. It's not going to be like, it's going to be an incredible user experience for you guys.
You're going to love it.
It is.
It's going to be so
you're
much
gonna love
better.
it. Yeah, you're going to love it. It's going to allow us to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just going to connect you better to us, connect you better to each other in the community. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Some fun gamification components as well.
Sure.
Like you'll be able to earn badges and achievements and kind of.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing. So be on the lookout for that. We have a few more things, like favorite piece of tech or gadget.
A couple questions. So one is, you're you've been into biohacking for a while now. And I've seen you've got a collection of gadgets, things you've tried.
I buy everything that I see because I feel like I need to vet it out. I need to test it.
Good.
Right?
That's what the world needs, because I was saying earlier, like this industry, I feel is so filled with snake oil salesmen or people trying to sell you a gadget that's going to change your life. And it would be nice to have someone who could kind of cut through the noise.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to hear from you, what's your favorite piece of tech or gadget, wearable, measurable type thing, and what's something that wasn't worth it in your opinion?
Yeah. So 2 things are my favorites. I would say the Lumen device is one of my favorites for measuring metabolism. It tells me whether I'm burning fat or carbs for energy, the Lumen. I think they just lowered the price to $199.
Nice.
That's the only gadget that we have an affiliate.
Yeah.
Like we've managed to, set up an affiliate agreement with, which we probably should put it in the store.
Yeah.
Because I think people get 10% off.
Yeah, 10% off if you use the code H40.
But whether you use the code or not is irrelevant. The important thing is the Lumen is a great device that you just blow in the morning. It measures the CO2 in your breath to tell you whether you're burning fat or carbs. Mm-hmm. For me, it's been almost spot on. The days that I carb fast. So if I carb fast yesterday, for example, I carb fasted so yesterday, Thursday. Today when I blew it, I blew a 1. So so it told me that my body's 95% of the energy being expended is from fat. It's burning fat, which is good, which is what you want.
Yeah.
But you don't always want to be pegged towards fat, because then your body is metabolically inflexible. So you actually, that's why carb fasting we think is the healthiest way to lose weight, to to lose fat, to gain muscle, to maintain energy, and just be healthy
over the long term.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, my biological markers are dramatically improving since I've been doing this. But I think the Lumen's a great little device. I think the Oura Ring. So this, so I wear it as a wedding ring right now. You have the Apple Watch, you have the Fitbit, the Whoop, measures your heart rate and your blood pressure and measures VO2 max, not exactly, but VO2 max, your sleep, your steps, all of that health like data. This is the best one for me because I use it.
Yeah, you just
and why do I use it? Because it's a ring, so it's very not obtrusive.
Yep.
And number two, this battery lasts for a week.
Does it really?
I charge it overnight, one night, and then it lasts for 7 days. So I don't have to worry about it. Where the Apple Watch, what was happening? It was dying in the middle of the day. Yeah. And it's just like, once you reach a certain level of, right? Like it's not working, you just sort of set that thing to the side.
You stop using it.
Right?
Yeah.
One gadget that, I don't know if it's worth it or not. I might get some arguments here, but the hydrogen water bottle. I spent a few $100 to buy a hydrogen infused water bottle, and supposed to give you immediate, at least the marketers of this, immediate, energy increases. Now I've been able to find one study where hydrogen infused water enhances endurance athletes a little bit. Okay, a little bit. It marginally improved endurance athletes. I'm not really an endurance athlete, so I didn't notice any difference in anything for a span of a few months. So I really don't use the hydrogen water bottle. I wouldn't recommend investing in that because they're not cheap. It was like $249 or something.
Yep.
I just think HEPA filtered or reverse osmosis filtered water, just the cleanest water you can get your hands on is probably the best.
It's probably fine. Yeah, I appreciate that because I'm not someone who has spent a bunch of money on gadgets, but I've seen just incredible marketing claims, and I've always wondered, well, how much of that is just placebo, where somebody think like the Looney Tunes in Space Jam with their magic water, and suddenly they play better.
We just got the Hume Health Body Pod, so it's a weight scale that's supposed to measure. So we just got it, arrived yesterday.
Nice, okay.
So we do an in-body scan. There's a machine, it costs like $20,000, and some health clubs have this machine, the in-body scanner. It's supposed to be able to measure body fat percentage, lean muscle mass, bone density.
That's perfect.
Like, all of those markers, weight-related markers. The Hume is supposed to be 99% accurate or connected to that. For again, I think the Body Pod was like $200. So if that
$200,
if that does a good job, then that would be worth it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
because that will tell you your body fat percentage.
Yeah, it'll tell you where you have fat on your body.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited about that one. So I'll let you guys know for sure.
That's great. Well, I think that about wraps it for this call. So thank you very much for being a part of it. Thanks for joining us, and please do go ahead and check out freedomology.store. Again, this is the soft launch, so please, if you find any broken links or something that doesn't work, tell me.
Yeah, just let us know.
Let us know, but it should all be working.
So how could they let us know?
In school or
hello@freedomology.com.
Yeah,
hello@freedomology.com.
You can always email us there.
Yeah, we have 12 supplements. We're going to be adding some protein, some creatine,
yes, this catalog
and more
will
supplements.
Expand.
Again, it's going to expand, and you'll notice in out of stock if that supplement is out of stock, self-explanatory. But we're excited about this for sure.
Yeah,
cool.
So
thanks, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow for Flow.
Awesome.